I'm going to talk about a little bit different topic today. This relates to something that we talked about earlier in a video about the importance of debate, but I'm going to take it a little bit different direction and talk about one other component to it. There's a thing called pluralistic ignorance, and it's a thing that occurs in management where everybody seems to be agreeing with the direction of something when the individuals themselves disagree with it but don't speak up. They just quietly go home and say, well, the group seems to think one thing, but I think another. Yet nobody talks to each other to confirm that they disagree with whatever the group thinks. And so the company ends up marching down a direction where you have this group that thinks one thing only because of an assumption that everybody else feels the same way, when in fact it's just not true. It's kind of a dangerous concept, but it happens all the time in organizations. And so you want to make sure that you avoid it. And this is why, and it isn't even a matter of debate, but a matter of whether or not you all as a group are talking to each other about what it is you really think. And too often that gets buried in an organization where people don't share some of their ideas between themselves so that you can avoid this phenomenon of pluralistic ignorance, because it happens a lot in organizations. Now, you can think about it in terms of some of the big companies out there that have failed in the past and some of the practices that they brought in, the assumptions that they made. I had the experience of pluralistic ignorance some years ago when I went to see a presentation on the differences between filming with digital versus actual film. And they had split screens, so they used two different cameras mounted right next to each other, shooting the same scene. There was digital on one side, there was film on the other, and then they spliced the two together so that the audience could see the differences between the two. Clearly, digital was better. Clearly, it looked better than film. But when the video was over, you had these various camps sitting in the theater arguing about what they believed they saw. For me, who didn't have a horse in the race, it didn't matter. I was just looking purely at what was better. But for those who were on the film side, they argued that film looked better. For those who were on the digital side, they argued that digital looked better. But clearly digital looked better. And it eventually won the race. And think of everybody who was in the film industry, who made film, Kodak in particular, who then suffered as a result of never catching on to something that they invented in the first place. Kodak invented the digital camera, and only to then be ground into the ground because they didn't embrace digital later on. And so they were worried about harming their own business as a film distributor. So you don't want to have these things occur where you have groupthink and a sort of a group opinion that may in fact be wrong, but nobody speaks up and nobody talks among themselves to make sure that doesn't happen. And so this is a short video, but I wanted to make this point because pluralistic ignorance is a pretty common phenomenon. So until next time, thank you for watching. Thanks for watching this episode. If you want to follow us and know where we are, you can find us in a bunch of places. We're on Middlerock.com, which is our website. Up at the top, you'll see things for upcoming Zoom events that you can participate in. We bring in other speakers and we talk about entrepreneurship. You can also find me on Tom on Entrepreneurship on Quora, as well as Tom Nault on Quora. I also have a personal website, tomnault.com. You can find there, but I don't talk about business as much. So you can find us in all of those different places. And so we hope to hear from you. Write us, let us know what you think. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell when the next one is coming up so that you're notified. And thank you very much for being here.